Here's the thing about laziness. It's the most overused excuse in modern life. People say it like it's a medical condition. I'm just lazy. No, you're not lazy. You're directionless. Laziness is what happens when you turn up to Eden Park without knowing what position you're playing and then blame yourself for not touching the ball. Or when you're dating someone, never define the relationship and then act shocked that nothing's progressing. That's not laziness. That's zero standards. When expectations are vague, effort becomes optional, and optional effort never survives contact with reality. Andrew Malcolm, are standards low in this country compared to the rest of the world?
Yeah, I think New Zealand has become a lot lazier than it used to be, and it's kind of without purpose. And we're trying to act neutral, and what that means is things don't get done.
So the thing that's interesting about standards is if you have standards, you automatically put yourself at that top 1% compared to most people. I think that kids, particularly these days, if you have some reasonable standards, you're going to smash it compared to the rest of the country.
It's not difficult to have high standards if you understand what they are. We set them out, and then if you can see that you're failing at those high standards that you've set for yourself or that have been agreed, people don't like failing.
I'm amused, though, that high standards are such low bars in this country these days.
Yeah, because we don't expect a tidy room, a tidy car, a tidy house. We don't expect a job well done. We expect the minimum job to get done, hopefully, maybe someday. The expectations gradually have dropped over the last probably 50 years, and that the new expectation is average.
You've seen a lot of businesses. How many of them are too standard?
Yeah, so many people are just trying to get by, one or two man business, and breaking through that barrier to the next step becomes difficult. It requires extra work, extra focus on things that don't come naturally. And I feel like people don't want to put themselves in an uncomfortable situation of, one, admitting that they don't know what they need to know, and then two, getting after it after hours.
Now, there's a great theory that you imparted on me a couple of years ago, the Navy ship and the pirate ship. Do you want to talk about that and standards in business, because it affects every business?
Navy ship is everything runs on time. There's a clear command line from the captain down to the janitor, so to speak. Pirate ship is loose rules, loose expectations. There's a captain, but the captain can be challenged, and the pirates essentially can outvote the captain. And basically it's catch what you kill. It's
scaling fast,
and it's breaking rules where rules need to be broken to get things done. And the old world, and so much of the world today, runs on that pirate ship mentality. People complain about China stealing intellectual property. People complain about the quality of products that come out of third world countries being substandard. Like, basically, there's a lot of countries where they will see what they can get away with and work to that point and not much more. And in New Zealand, we've kind of got this massive governmental bureaucracy that runs on, well, I can't do that until my 14 managers approve it. And those 14 managers have to have a budget committee that is supervised by another committee to approve that. That's not pirate ship mentality. That's how you can guarantee nothing gets done.
Well, that's corporate mentality, though, isn't it?
Well, there's corporate mentality where there's quarterly KPIs and profit kind of goals. And then there's the dread of government bureaucracy where ministers are not accountable. CEOs are measured on budgets and not outcomes. If the inputs are the only thing you're focused on and the outputs are pushed out and delayed and blamable on so many other things, there is no accountability.
I'm going to use two examples of pretty well-known, very well-known places that I've worked at in the past. First one, Television New Zealand, worked there for 10 years. That was a Navy ship.
Yeah.
Couldn't get anything done. And you were told off almost straight away. It's a very hard place to work, TVNZ. But one of the great New Zealand success stories is absolutely a pirate ship. He's a very dear friend of mine, David Higgins, who's going to be on the show a little bit later on, Duco Events. Total pirate ship with what we did with Joseph Parker to win the world title. You know, the goal there was 8 years because Tour had done it in 8 years, and we did it in 3.5 with Joseph. But man, we cut corners. Man, we rattled cages. And we did question David, and we were all into it. And that kind of environment is really exciting when you've got the right people around you in a business. When you don't have the right people, though, it's almost impossible to go forward.
Yeah, when we first started what was iRefi and became Mortgage HQ, it was a pirate ship mentality. We broke a lot of rules with marketing in terms of the non-traditional approach. We bucked the trend because we were outsiders coming into an industry we weren't as familiar with, and we did a lot of things that were not the norm and definitely not celebrated by the industry stalwarts. And we were able to grow to be much bigger than existing advisory firms in a short period of time because we did things our own way. And we got told off a few times, but if we hadn't broken those rules, we wouldn't have got to where we needed to get to.
So 2 of our greatest critics at Duco, actually one in the particular is someone that you absolutely admire, but another one who lives not too far away from here, Lance Revel and Sir Bob Jones. And I calculated one time that they had over 100 years in boxing, and we'd won 2 world titles. Joseph had won one, Jeff Horner beat a Manny Pacquiao. And I remember putting out a press release saying, numbers of year in the industry, Lance Revel and Bob Jones, 100 world titles, 0. Years in the boxing industry, Duco Events, 7 years, world titles, 2. And realistically, we couldn't have won those world titles without
being outsiders,
you know?
Yeah, well, I've seen Lance hit the speed bag. It's extremely impressive, and we all know how intelligent Sir Bob Jones was, and he was a real fan of the pugilist.
Yeah.
The thing with boxing is a showman's sport. It's a promoter sport, and sometimes in any industry, it takes an outsider to break things apart and change the game.
And interestingly, I'm not going to go on for too much longer because David is going to come on the show, is that he made a very interesting appointment in 2015 when we were going so fast. He brought Martin Snedden in, who ran Rugby World Cup and was chief executive of the New Zealand cricket team when they had so many problems. But that was David transitioning from Navy ship, from pirate ship to Navy ship.
Yeah, and it's just a small boat with more casual rules. It's not a huge, aircraft carrier. Now, if you want to have success in anything in life and you're stuck in a Navy ship, it's going to be hard to make fast, rapid progress because sometimes it requires a lot of experimentation, some perceived risk-taking that others might not be happy about. So you need to set up some sort of entrepreneurial environment in your big corporate area or break free and start something on your own. And when you're starting a business in some particular industry, you don't necessarily need industry experts. You need pirates that are going to do what needs to be done. We want to have the highest integrity when it comes to certain things, but you also have to understand that turning a blind eye to certain things is what's required to make rapid progress.
Yeah, break the rules, not the law.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to investors, there's kind of 2 ways I look at investing. There's some business investors and there's property investors. And I would say business investors are, in a lot of cases, trying to be win-win. With property investment has this kind of, it's known for being win-lose. When people buy and sell properties, somebody is really happy and somebody not so happy. And that's okay. It's more of a pirate mentality. And if you're looking to make your way in property, you have to understand that it is a lot more cutthroat. It is a transaction that is one and done, basically. So you can actually do a lot of lowball offers, like a pirate, and get one to stick. You can't do that as much in business because that reputation will follow and it's more longer term. So if you are a little bit more cheeky, then maybe property investing is the right thing for you. If you're more that long term, want to make it work, then business something to look closer at.
None of this is complicated. It's just uncomfortable sometimes. If you'd rather deal with that than keep negotiating with yourself, the rest of this channel goes a lot deeper. Subscribe if that sounds useful. If not, carry on.